Due to our colleagues, prominent speakers from across the industry, students and sponsors, and our fellow stakeholders. It is profoundly that I offer a gift to each of you for this awareness program, expected by 2025. We are thrilled to offer an exceptional set of realistic keen minds and knowledge seekers, all drawn together by a common interest in technological breakthroughs and the drive for innovation. We start the event. I prize for the innovation of Tamil Nadu, lyrical good mother. Third, sessions for your today, including a much important awareness program on investment. We are starting this evening with our first technique how acoustic emission in AI can reduce heat leakage in glass, presented by Mr. Michael Heidegger, CEO of Senseworld. In this session, Mr. Michael will provide a concise review of how acoustic emission technology integrated with AI is revolutionizing the detection and prevention of glass leakage. Later on, we'll have a presentation on smart strategies for mutual fund presented by Mrs. Lalita Tamaripandi, Managing Director, Panamana FinTech. In this session, she will present smart strategies for mutual fund while offering valuable insights into navigating market volatility, discussing practical approaches to managing risk, and identifying resilient investment opportunities. And we'll end our final topic of the day, ensuring value through precision actuation, presented by Kenneth Roth, by Mr. Akshay Anand, General Manager, and Mr. Gopiram Krishna Raj, Area Manager. In this session, they will explore the crucial topic of ensuring valve reliability through precision actuation. Discuss How precise and reliable actuation is fundamental to optimizing RAM performance, ensuring safety and maximizing operational efficiency in industrial applications. On behalf of Tamil Nadu Engineers Forum, I extend a warm welcome to all our distinguished speakers. I am delighted to inform you that JEF is commemorating its 26th year, accompanied by the celebration of the 9th Engineering Excellence Awards and the 16th Technological Innovations Conference and Exhibition. Event will take place on 9th October 2025. Your participation is eagerly anticipated and your involvement will contribute to the success of the significant event. At this juncture, on behalf of TED 2025, we would like to thank all our sponsors whose continue to propel the successful journey of TED. We thank our event sponsors, Golden Rock Petroleum Services and Kinetrol Middle East Oil. Also, we thank our presenting sponsors, KMC and William. We thank our platinum sponsors, Sadly, Transglobal, and Allah Engineering. We also thank our sponsors, Admin, Petroleum Services, HTC, Brookfield Bank, Alumni Exchange, Eagle Development, and Mahata Trade. Finally, we thank our silver sponsors, EDAC, GDC, Gulfstream, and Sarana Government. We are also pleased to announce that Sifa Jasir Mahil is joining us as our official health partner for the TEF 2023 events. Pleased to announce that ISO 9001:2015 certified non-profit engineering organization in our region registered with the Embassy of India network. TEF consistently executes all its programs with utmost professionalism, private safety of both its members and partners. In this regard, I request Engineer Motivated to share the safety moment of the day. Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, please be informed there is no plan of any marker in the premises today. In case of any such emergencies, you are all accustomed to assemble the designated assembly. This moment focuses on a simple yet powerful practice, fast, quick, and in our digital world, cybersecurity is essential. Often, threats come in the form of suspicious links or emails. The key to protecting ourselves and our organization is to ask for a moment anything on. Ask yourself, is this message accepted? Do I recognize the sender? Am I cautious about unexpected things? This small act of management cannot disaster. Data breaches, financial losses, or damage to reputation. Remember, cybersecurity begins with each of us. So, stay vigilant, pause, think, and act responsibly to keep our organization safe.
3 small steps per man, a giant leap for cybersecurity. Often we are in a hurry, as often for free. Responsible version access permissions to an app, or connect to a Wi-Fi network. Hold on. Are you reacting or thinking and acting? What happens when you click on something malicious? Take that up your personal information, your contact, may be stored on devices. Affect the network. Cybercriminals maintain access to this network through the door and change the data. Next time, before you begin, think that one extra moment makes a big difference. Immediately delete suspicious email in your inbox. Use a secure Wi-Fi hotspot to connect. Always people check updates for their assistance and beyond unnecessary permission. Remember to always cause, effect, and analysis. Please.
Thank you, Mr. Governor. As dedicated members of the health community, organization remains proper of wishes. In every program, we strive to enrich our members by sharing insights from the river to the well, the timeless pressure cherished by Tamilians worldwide. It's like a lot of meaningful to improve the problem of the day and its meaning.
Sound കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? In English, before the bright one, shine as before the light. Before the dull ones, be as clear as choco white. That's it.
Stand for the welcome address. I request Engineer Raghunath to deliver the welcome address.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the 2025 team, it's a pleasure to welcome you all to our fifth technical seminar of this year. I'm honored to be part of this significant event, and we are thrilled to have rich speakers and a diverse group of participants here with us today. Before we begin, a warm welcome and heartfelt thanks to our esteemed speakers, Mr. Michael Whittaker, CEO, Sensor GmbH, and Mr. Akshay Anand, General Manager, Kinetron Middle East, and Mr. Gopi Aksharaj, Area Manager, Kinetron Middle East, and Tech Private Limited. We also extend our warm welcome and appreciation to all our sponsors and partners who have made this event possible. Finally, we welcome all the attendees and the defiants taking time to join us today. Your presence and participation are what makes this seminar meaningful and impactful. Friends, we have exciting programs lined up for you in acoustic emission and AI valve reliability through precision actuation, and finally a topic on financial management announcement, which will be delivered by the field to share their insights and experiences. I hope today's event promises an enlightening experience for all of us, and I am confident that everyone here will gain valuable information and knowledge from this presentation. Thank you all, and enjoy this evening.
Thank you, Ramasana, for your first welcome address. Now it's time to move into It's truly my pleasure and honor to introduce today's distinguished speaker, Engineer Michael Hediger, a remarkable individual who for the deep engineering expertise to the entrepreneurial version. Engineer Michael is not only a trained engineer, Engineer Michael is not only a trained engineer, but also an accomplished founder with a decade of experience in the section of entrepreneurship and industrial artificial intelligence. As the CEO, he is on a compelling mission to industrial inspection. His work focuses on developing intuitive tools that have minimal training, tools industrial inspections are connected by making advanced technologies accessible to a broader range of users. Today, Michael will address a pressing world challenge, industrial operations, which is wall leakage. He will take us to the innovative application of emission technology, combined the power of artificial intelligence to detect the wall leakages, unprecedented speed, accuracy, and efficiency. This is more than just a technical conversation. Wall leakage is a critical issue affecting safety, environmental sustainability, and economic performance. Particularly in sectors such as oil and gas, where an estimated 5 to 10% of walls suffer from sea leakage. Without further ado, please join me in extending a warm welcome to Engineer Michael Hediger. Welcome, sir.
Just. Angewendet. Der Bessmann angewendet.
I guess my words. Everybody. Yeah. Welcome So welcome also from my side. I'm excited to be here today. I came all the way from Vienna. Mom invited me, so I'm happy to be here. So yeah, our talk today is about yeah, I think it was. If I move my neck. Yeah, there were some engineers here. All right. Now, this one actually worked. Okay, before I start with the presentation, just a couple of words about us and our company. So we are located in Vienna. We are a team of 8 engineers, economists, and all with a passion for simplification and digitalization. We started 5 years ago, because when we looked at the market for industrial inspections, we saw that there's a lot of advanced technologies out there, such as the emission, thermography, ultrasound, but one thing in common. They're very complex to use, so you train the experience in order to operate them, and many companies don't have this expertise in-house. On top of it, even if you have the experts, the inspection is very time consuming, it requires proprietary and closed devices. And we changed that. So we made it our mission to empower everyone to inspect industrial assets. And the first use case that we developed is seat leakage in valves. We already in the introduction, there's studies show that 5 to 10% of valves are leaking internally. What does it mean? It means the valve is in a closed position, and the medium, whether it's a gas or liquid, is through the seat of the valve. That can be, of course, very problematic. Because this, we can have costs, additional costs, and we have valves everywhere, whether it's chemical on off, whether it's pressure relief safety valves or control valves. In any case, we want to make sure when they are in closed position that they are tight. So how do companies actually test today whether a valve is closed, so it's leaking or not? What we saw is that most companies actually don't inspect valve leakage. So they don't know if they're leaking. But it's not in the beginning, maybe later when the leakage is. So this is a very costly process. There are some customers who use test benches where they and test them on test bench. Very accurate, but it's very labor intensive, very time consuming. You have to remove it, you have to bring it to work. And only few companies use mobile inspection systems. The reason is that they're very complex to use and the expertise is not always available. With our product, we make it simple, efficient, and fast for everyone. So how do we do it? We use a technology called acoustic emission. So acoustic emission measures structure-borne sound, which means that if you place the sensor on the structure, it can measure acoustic waves that will travel through the solids, through the structure. We don't measure any airborne sound, so really only sound that travels through the structure. And in the case of leakage, we put it on the valve and listen if there's some leakage flow inside. So this is how it works. Today I will not only show you how we developed it, how does the AI part work, also I'll guide you through it on an actual case study we recently did with a refinery in Germany. So our customer is a refinery in Germany called from Tor. They approximately have 100,000 barrels of crude oil per day, the hydrocracker refinery. And what's really important is they operate a modern hydrorefining unit. This is where they use hydrogen in order to remove sulfur and focus on really low sulfur or ultra low sulfur products. The problem that they had is that there were some valves leaking in this process. And this led to a very inefficient process that resulted in lower product quality and higher energy demand, which of course was very problematic. So how do we help them? How do we collaborate? We want to find efficiency and we want to reduce them as best as possible. So collaboration is up in a 4-step process. First step, let's identify which valves could actually cause these issues and do they meet the requirements. If we want to test a valve for leakage with acoustic emission, there are 3 requirements. Number 1, obviously, the valve needs to be in closed position. Number 2, we require pressure differential, a delta P across the valve. For gas, the minimum is 1 bar, 15 psi. For liquids, 40 to 45 psi, 2 to 3 bar. And the third requirement is if there is thermal insulation, remove it, or we make it goes into the insulation. So together with the operations team and they identified 22 valves, 20 gauge valves, apply 1 globe. The valves were from 2 to 6 inch in valve size. The medium in these valves was either gas, HM or H2S, and these valves had hydrocarbon. And the differential was between 7 and 26 bar. So as you can see, all valves were in closed position, the thermal insulation was removed, and the pressure differential was given. So all 22 valves met the requirement. Excellent. Now step 2, doing the actual inspection. So the operations team went into the field and we tested one valve after another. As all these valves had requirement, they were in one valve. We could really move on quickly and test one valve after another. The system that we used provided immediate results. I'll show you now basically how the inspection process works and how we actually use to identify the leakage. If we want to know whether a valve is leaking or not, we need to analyze the acoustic. But we don't do that only on the valve, we do it actually also before the valve and after the valve. Take 5 readings, 2 times before the valve, 2 times after, 1 at the valve. From the first measurement point to the flange is in the best case 3 times the pipe size. So we had 2-inch valve, so 10-inch valve would be So we take these 5 readings, and then we want to listen and see if there's some acoustics. What does it mean? If a valve is a fully open position and is not leaking, obviously, or it's just fully open, we have laminar flow. So as you can see, these particles, they go through the valve and out of the valve without any turbulent or very little turbulent flows. Most of it is laminar flow. If the valve is in closed position and not leaking, then we have just also no flow, therefore no acoustic signal. But how does a valve look if it's leaking? What happens then is that the medium is pressed through usually a small space. Of the pressure differential, it will create turbulent flows, as seen here. So the particles are flown around in every sort of direction. It's the key why acoustic communication works for valve leakage. Because these turbulences, they make a very different sound than a laminar flow or a closed and not leaking flow. So we used our device, tested the device gave immediate results. But how does the device do it? How does it know is it leaking or not? Because sometimes it's so easy. There's nearby flows or open steam vents. So one key parts where algorithms and AI come in. That shows the 3 measurements. So what you see graph on the x-axis you see on the y-axis you see how strong the acoustic is in each frequency. The unit is decibel. And the 3 colors represent blue before the valve, green after the valve, and orange on the valve body. So this is the Fourier transformation of the acoustic signal. If you've been familiar with, for example, vibration monitoring, they also know you can transform the vibrations into the frequencies with the structure one sound. Why do we do it? Because we see something very interesting. From 0 to up to 300 kilohertz, all acoustic values behave more or less the same. Because this is just industrial sound that is happening on all 5 measurement points. But in higher frequencies, 300 to 500 kilohertz, we see a nice separation from the orange line, which is the measurement on the valve body, to the green and blue, which are the ones before and after. And this is the actual peak sound, which separates in higher frequencies. is that? Because signals in high frequencies only travel short distances. So the closer you are to the actual phenomena, the higher the signals in high frequencies. And this is one of the things we use to train our algorithms. Our algorithms, within a couple of seconds, analyze the whole frequency spectrum and find the best frequency for this type of leakage under this type of industrial environment. So, after detection, you get immediate results for each of the valves. We had 17 valves, 22 were actually leaking. As you can see that all of these show the middle measurement point has the highest reading, meaning that this is to the development flows of the leakage. But you can also see circled in green that for each measurement, the software, the AI picked a different frequency to find that leakage. And this is usually what experts would do. Think of it like when you have a radio and you want to, find. This is what the algorithm does to find leakage, even in very industrial, noisy environments. 17 of these valves are leaking, but we have one more crucial information: how much is leaking? Is it just a couple milliliters per minute, or is it liters per minute, or it may be more? So we need to know and estimate the leakage based on the signal. Because we cannot measure actually the leakage rate, we can only measure statistics, but how can we correlate? Can we learn from these correlations? So what we did in the last 5 years is we collaborated with many universities, with known valve manufacturers, with Flowserve, in order to generate a big database of different valve sizes, mediums, pressure rates, and of course a lot of different leakage rates. So we have now 5,000 measurements in this database, and we use it to learn how the different parameters basically correlate to each other in terms of the leakage rate. Our machine learning model uses 4 parameters. The has a big influence: the pressure, delta P across the valve, the valve size, and of course the medium. In the medium, we distinguish between gas, steam, water, and viscous liquids. How we actually use our journey on that data. What you see here is a sample of our data. So the sample is a 2-inch globe valve with water as medium. Then we have 3 scales: the pressure from 0 to 30 bar per minute, square mean in decibel from 0 to 80. So all these green dots in this 3-dimensional space send a leaking valve. All of them, as I said, a 2-inch globe valve with water. So you see that the pressure, how they behave and correlate to each other. So for humans, it's very difficult to learn from these patterns, especially if you consider that it's only one valve with one size and one medium. Tries then to map out these points. So as you can see, it tries to find a plane, this 3-dimensional space that maps all these ground truth measurements on this plane. So the next time when we have a globe of water and we measure for whatever is our mass with that pressure, it will tell us approximately the leak. So, for the valves that we identified as leaking, we saw we had very different leak rates: 4 liters per minute, 1 or 4 cubic feet per minute, some. So this is a very crucial information. It's not highly accurate. So, accuracy, think of it like half of it to double of it. Yeah, that's like more or less the estimation that we can give. But still, it's a crucial information. And based on this, as you can see, we have immediate results whether the valve is leaking or not, and how it's leaking. So to summarize, step 2, the team of our customer was able to use the device after just 1 hour training, because it's very simple and the algorithm will do the job for you. Within 3 hours, we test all 22 valves. We immediately saw which are causing these issues. Great. So now we'll move on to the third one, which is reporting. We want to use visualization in order to stop the whole reporting and hopefully also repair process. So we use way approach. One is we offer standardized, meaning that even right from the device, you can generate a PDF report of all your measurements with a dedicated page of each valve showing the leakage rate and of course all the media and the photo. On top of it, because as our inspection, and this gives us the possibility not only to have a structured and long-time storage of all our inspections, but also have a great overview on how leakage rates are behaving in all my plants and also how they're changing over time. So with this, of course, our customer can also learn for the future to start fixing the problems. Now coming on to the fourth step, confirmation of the results. So does the solution actually work and how does the process change after? I think this is try to see if we can reposition them, if we can close them further, if we can close them better. Sometimes maybe position, sometimes you can, there's something stuck in it, could be multiple reasons. And we have here on the right side a graph that shows 5 measurements of the same valve in the space. And you can see for each time the leakage rate drops, because after each time they repositioned the valve again, closed it better, closed it more, maybe even greased it, and we saw that within a couple of hours we were able to reduce the leakage from 35 cubic to below 1 cubic foot per minute. No removal of the valve, just a bit of repositioning. Valves during the shutdown, they were removed, they brought on a test bench, and all the leakages were actually controlled. The business case is a bit hard to calculate, but it's for sure in a couple $100,000 seen over 1 year in terms of product loss. The agriculture are running more, even better than before. Yeah, this is one case study that we've done in the recent months and years. We have also other case studies we've done. For example, this one with Shell in Qatar, where we identified leakages that lead to the gas flare. By identifying them, we were able to reduce gas flaring. Another case study for onshore, where we test flow down and emergency shutdown valves. Again, a lot of losses, additional costs if they're leaking. And this example is from Exxon, a Spanish operator of tank storage and led to products, which causes a lot of headache for them. So yeah, another great inspection of valve leakage can actually save money. Yeah, we do this all over the world. If you are interested, in any technical questions, I'll be here all night. And if you ever feel like you want to use the device or test the device, our partner Golden Barn has a demo unit here in Kuwait. We have first customers here, so very excited always to showcase and then demonstrate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mark, for sharing your valuable time and knowledge. It's time for question and answers.
So any questions from the audience?
Yes. Actually, walls, it has got some inherent characteristics of some leak, some certain percentage of leaks are allowed, right? So how do you differentiate, is it walls inherent characteristics or not leak?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So we have on the one hand shutdown valves, which are allowed to leak almost nothing, right? Maybe a couple bubbles per minute. So these type of allowable leakages we cannot recognize. Yeah. So if it's really just a couple of bubbles per minute, we were not able to detect these small leakages. But for example, if you look at control valves, class 4 valves, they can leak a little bit, and these leakages, of course, are detectable. So what we implemented is actually a feature that after inspecting a control valve, you can add the leakage class and the CV control valves. We will tell you our leakage rate under these cross parameters, and then compare it to our estimation, and you know if it's pass or fail.
Yeah, one question. Regarding your case study, actually you presented about the refinery processing. So is it means you need to have some differential pressure, right, to study the leakage of the walls. Whereas here you have closed all the walls in that refinery section. How it was able to achieve pressure in each and every section, like.
So basically, the valves tested, they are usually closed during operation. This one works, yeah. So all the valves that we tested, they are closed during operation. So that's why they want to make sure that they're not leaking. For the pressure differential, basically, some valves had a couple of bar pressure differential, others did not. So they have two parts of this process, and we did the test on 2 days. On one day, one plant was in a recovery mode where we were able to create this pressure differential on purpose. So it's sometimes possible to depressurize the downstream side of the valve and then create a higher delta P. And the next day we switched the plants and then did on the other one these tests. So to summarize, some valves had the DP, others didn't. So we created on purpose by mostly depressurizing the downstream. There's a question over there.
What is required? This is required. Identify the being correct. One bar differential bar is required.
Yes. Yes, for gas, 1 bar. For liquids, 2 to 3 bar. Delta V.
At this lower minimum requirement, if it is less than what is the requirement, will the efficiency of the finding will come down or it will not even report?
So yeah, excellent question. You can still test a valve even if the pressure differential is low. But the detection of small leaks will become more difficult. Instead, if we say leak, then it's still a leak, of course. If we say no leak, there's a chance for small leak. So the detection of smaller leaks becomes more difficult for low pressure.
What is the periodicity recommend for checking the leak?
The periodically, when how often?
Yeah.
I guess that depends a lot on the process. We have some customers that, especially vent and drain valves or PSVs to the flare, they usually test every 3 to 6 months. just because they want to reduce emissions a lot. Some other customers only use it on demand when they think I have a problem now here and I want to find the problem. So it really depends on the process of the customer. Some do it periodically, some do it really just on demand when they have an issue.
But every time you are doing manually, you have to check the points, find points, can check your check. Instead, you have any automatic system so that in the key walls we can insert by point some probes or something so that once they clicks itself, we can get identified.
Yeah. So basically, we for Sincero, we don't have yet a plan to develop some sort of a permanent solution. It's just we think it's not so easy to have a good business case. The sense technology is quite expensive, and as you saw, you probably need at least 3-4 sensors to measure one valve. But yeah, there is for sure some situations where it probably makes more sense to do permanently, just because of the reaction time. Yeah, I think the customers we have, they just measure periodically, and as you saw, I mean, we do 20 hours. I've seen customers do 100 days, 100 hours a day. So I think the effort and labor is not so big using it fast.
In the top of the tanks, the filter walls and other walls, how you find the leak because the blanket pressure is maybe very less. Most of the time it may be less than 1 bar or something. How do you
Yeah, I mean, for sure there is situations where you have very little pressure differential, maybe valves hard to access, maybe a lot of ventilation. Of course, it becomes more and more difficult, so maybe it's not the solution for every valve out there, but we still believe with at least 1 bar dB, we can probably find a lot of the leakages out there. But you're right, yeah, there's some valves that will be always a bit tricky.
In the process, you might have come across many walls on the refineries. Where is the key area where it is often it is almost leaking?
Yeah, to be honest, it depends from every customer, is a bit different. So this hydro refining, I thought it's a great use case, but then I saw many refineries that don't even have this part of the process. What I saw is that the valves for the flaring, I think everybody has them and everybody has some sort of a problem with it, maybe minor, maybe major. So that for sure is a use case that everybody has. For some it's a problem, for others it doesn't. Yeah. I can maybe show you later a couple other things that we collected over the years. But yeah, every time I'm in a refinery, they bring me some to a new area or to a new part of the plant I've never seen before. So it really depends, I guess, on the perspective of the operator.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a query. Now I know this is one of the technology for emission control. How does it differ from the other technology which you have shown, like thermal imaging and the other options which you have shown? What is the peculiarity of this technology compared to those because it's one of the limitations. Like I'm not sure whether this can do the vegetation emission monitoring, basically associated with bonnets, all the instrument, patch fittings, and other things. So basically, wall passing is one major advantage. Compared to those technologies, how does it differ?
Okay, so basically we picked acoustic emission by seeing that it's a very niche technology and it's good in some use cases. Let's say in some use cases it's the best, but in others it's maybe second or third or maybe even less. Yeah. What's the advantage of acoustic emission is to all it uses only structural sound. So if the environment is the ambient is loud, it's not affected. The second advantage is that we measure in very high frequencies. So vibration, for example, measures up to 20 kilohertz. Acoustic emission measures up to 500. And this is the big difference, is because having a broader frequency gives you more information, and especially higher frequencies, more relevant information. So these are things I would say are play in favor. So we focus on use cases where this is an advantage. Valve leakage, this is obviously advantage because there's a lot of noise, so vibration will not work. Thermal will also not work because many mediums will not have a temperature change over the leakage. Some might, but most don't. So thermography will not work for every use case. Vibration, too much vibration on the pipe. So yeah, there's not so many left. That's why we picked acoustic emission. There's some studies already been going on for a long time that show that it's technology for this type of detection. But yeah, there's for sure other technologies that are better for other types of defects. For example, if you look at external leakage, for example, if the exam, then acoustic emission will detect it, but it's very labor intensive because you have to, like a doctor, measure every single point. While you could, for example, use an acoustic camera, which is like a tablet with like 50 microphones on the back, and they scan the whole area and find external leakage much more efficient. So that's why we use acoustic emission, and valve leakage is for sure an amazing use case. And for example, steam trap is actually the next on our list. All right, then thanks again.
Thank you, Mr. Michael, for your outstanding presentation. We are confident that our audience has greatly benefited from your insightful, particularly regarding the crucial aspects of utilizing acoustic emission and aim to reduce valve sink leakage. We extend our sincere gratitude for sharing your expertise on how these advanced technologies enhance valve reliability and enable proactive maintenance. We thank you.
It's now time to felicitate our distinguished guest speaker. Before felicitating our speaker, I request Mr. P.P. Muthu to come onto the stage. May I invite Mr. Bala Ilamaran to felicitate Mr. Michael with the garland. May I invite Mr. Jayakumar to felicitate Mr. Michael with the memory and the garland. Now we'll move on to our second session, which will be presented by Mr. Tamrepandi, Managing Director, Connemara Fintech Private Limited, on the topic Smart Strategies for Mutual Fund Investors in Turbulent Times. Now I invite Engineer Mani Anderson to be the speaker.
Good evening to all. We are pleased to welcome Lita, a creative writer and financial consultant with a deep expertise in investment. She holds a PhD in finance from prestigious Biogas Institute of Management, Trichy. She began a professional journey as an investment analyst, specializing in fundamental equity analysis. Lalita is a founder of Connemara Fintech Private Limited, through which she actively manages equity and mutual fund portfolios and provides expert advice on mutual fund investments. She is also the author of the well-received book Mutual Funds: The Money Multiplier, a practical guide that simplifies the world of mutual fund for investors. In addition to her consulting and writing book, Lalita regularly addresses NIS inquiry, delivering insightful seminars on personal finance and investment strategies. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Lalita.
Thank you, Mr. Maniarasan, for your wonderful introduction of this speaker. It's now my distinct pleasure to invite Mrs. Lalit to the stage to share extensive expertise on the topic of small for mutual fund investment in turbulent times. Let us welcome her with a big round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. I'm delighted to be here today to talk about something that's both time and time. Smart strategies for mutual fund investment in turbulent times. There is a quote from George Gordon, asset management company in the United States. Uncertainty is the only certainty in investing, and it could not be more relevant today. This book captures the essence of today's environment all at once. We're seeing a mix of macroeconomic factors shaping the market and hence investor confidence and sentiment. But volatility is a feature, not a flaw. It's a fundamental trait of equity investing. It's not a threat. It's an opportunity in disguise. In every market cycle, fear and greed dominate headlines. But history shows that turbulence is temporary and growth is not just to survive, but to invest wisely through it. This session introduces a professional investment framework that helps cut through the noise and provides evidence-based design discipline, reactionary errors, and foster long-term resilience in building mutual fund portfolios that work to your best advantage, no matter the market move. Today, I'll walk you through a simple and powerful framework to invest in mutual funds even when the market feels like a roller coaster. Ever watched a roller coaster? The dips are sharp and the turns are wide. But thrill seekers know that it's all part of the ride. They do not scream, they do not stop, they hold on. They do not panic and get away halfway. They enjoy the ride, and that is how long-term investors view market volatility. But what exactly is market volatility in the first place? It refers to the extent of price fluctuations in the market. High volatility means the prices, while low volatility means prices change, the price fluctuation is moderate. Market volatility can be attributed to a lot of factors. Economic indicators like the GDP growth, inflation rate, etc. Central bank policies, changes in interest rate, company earnings report and guidance, geopolitical events such as international conflicts, trade wars, political instability, and unexpected global and natural disasters, as a sentiment, emotions, and perceptions. Positive or negative surprises in these indicators can lead to sharp market movements on either side, and it can in turn impact mutual fund investments. To understand the mutual fund landscape, let us begin with where we stand. The mutual fund is a professionally managed investment pool that offers diversified exposure to stocks, bonds, or a mix of assets based on the fund's objectives. It allows you to invest efficiently without managing individual securities, offering instant diversification, liquidity, expert fund management, governed affordability, and goal-based flexibility. Only three categories: equity funds, debt funds, and hybrid funds. Under equity, we have large caps for stability, mid-cap funds for moderate growth, and small caps for growth. Then we have factor-based funds, where we have value funds, and these stocks are undervalued, that is, compared to the intrinsic value. In momentum funds invest in stocks that are performing well in the recent past, and they try to ride the momentum. The quality funds strong financial and stable earnings. Quality or minimum variance funds invest in stocks with low price fluctuations, and they offer more stability. Or funds invest in stocks or companies that are expected to offer above average growth potential. Now, when it comes to debt, daily capital preservation and income, and debt funds plus liquid funds, short term or short duration funds, long duration funds, mostly gilt funds, that is government bonds. Liquid funds are a great place to park your emergency focus. That is, they are safe and accurate, as the name suggests. Hybrid funds, they mix equity, debt for a balanced performance without equities. Conservative hybrid funds, they cater to risk-averse investors, that is, need some exposure to equity. With about 75% in equities, aggressive hybrid funds cater to investors who have high risk tolerance. Then we have dynamic asset allocation funds, which invest in equity and debt according to the market conditions. The fund manager has great flexibility in allocating the assets to the equity as debt according to the market conditions. And with equity, debt, and hybrid, you can tailor your portfolio according to your goals and risk appetite. Mutual funds offer perfect toolset to navigate the volatility. Mutual funds get affected by market volatility. Mutual funds are directly impacted by market volatility because their performance is tied to the underlying assets in which they invest. Stocks, bonds, causing net asset value of the mutual fund to rise or fall sharply. The Association of Mutual Funds in India, AMFI, monitors the asset management companies to ensure that they comply with AMFI guidelines and SEBI regulations. This helps build investor confidence by reinforcing that mutual funds are managed with integrity and transparency. The Indian mutual fund industry has come a long way. 2025, the assets under management have crossed the 70 3 lakh crore mark, and the monthly SIP installments by retail investors cross the 26,000 crore mark. And there's also a notable shift in the mutual fund investor behavior that we have been noticing in the we are seeing great use of passive strategies, that is, mutual funds, investment in index funds, ETFs, etc. Then we have balanced advantage in hybrid funds that are gaining traction. Then we have increased digital adoption, which lends transparency and more access to, it gives widespread reach to a lot of investors. The Indian mutual fund industry has matured significantly by adopting structured and smart strategies. We can navigate the turbulence. SMART, smart strategies. This smart paper will serve as an effective guide to tackle tsunami during turbulent times. Let's walk through each one of them. Structured and systematic investing. The most powerful way to fight market volatility is SIP, systematic investment plan, where a fixed amount is invested regularly at predetermined intervals. Takes emotion out of the equation and lets outflows work for you in your favor, and more units are purchased when the market hits its low. And this concept is known as rupee cost averaging. That is the quiet magic of the former Berkshire Hathaway wife Charlie Munger compared compounding to small snowball. That is, you let it fall down a large hill. The first rule of compounding is never interrupt it unnecessarily. Keep growing and growing exponentially. Longer the investment horizon, greater the exponential growth. Discontinuing or stopping your sips in between will prove counterproductive and put brakes on the power of compounding. Think of sips as cruise on a long road and steady, overcoming all the bumps along the way. But what drives disciplined investors to stay invested in spite of the market dips? They strongly believe that progress takes time and stay in the markets for the long and long market. And that is the quiet power of discipline. SIPS takes away the pressure of timing the market through every correction, crash, or climb. SIPS keep turning market pressure noise into long-term advantage. The Indian equity market has historically shown tremendous resilience affected by this graph. The Indian equity market has shown tremendous as depicted by the graph. It reflects time and again bounce back scams, financial crisis, global weakness, bubble burst. In spite of all these, the market has moved 730 times. Short-term fluctuations occurring as and when such events happen, but the long-term trend has always, graph has always. So it indicates that temporary turbulence does not hinder the long-term trend. And those who stay invested for the long term with steadfastness are benefited. So patience is rewarded. Once you start investing through SIPs, do not press the stop button as that is whenever there is market downturn. Let me take a real life case. Investor A and investor B started investing in mutual fund through SIP, an equity mutual fund through SIP in September 2013. They continued investing till March 2016. When the markets turned choppy at that time, investor B exited in haste because he panicked. But in A, stayed invested. He was confident that it's a minor variation. 5 years down the line, when we see investor A earned 13, that is he earned 11.15 lakhs more than investor B because he stayed invested and 13% per annum against a negative 0.35% that Mr. B earned. Shows that markets know patience, discipline, and systematic investment, and not impulsive actions. Next, we come to market cycle awareness and alignment. You cannot avoid market cycles, but you can understand them. I briefly explained it in the earlier slides. Do not exit only funds because market cycle awareness helps you remain proactive, not reactive. You should not react to every fix. The key is to stay patient and ultimately win. Timing the market is a gamble and rarely successful. Time in the market is the strategy that compounds your wealth. Fight or flight instinct has always helped us to survive. But when it comes to investing, it is a losing strategy. When volatility strikes, panic selling to avoid further losses could result in selling your investments at a price less than what you purchased. What of the rebounds that may take place, and right from that, rebounds often take place immediately after market. So you miss out on significant gains that can get during such rebounds. This chart shows a hypothetical investment of $100,000 in a 20-year period. This study, though conducted in the United States, is universally applicable to stock markets worldwide, not to mention India. An investor who stayed invested over the entire 20-year period would have earned 58% more than an investor who missed the top 5 best performing REITs. If you are unfortunate enough to miss the top 25 best performing days, your investment value, pension value, would have been eroded by 75%. So get invested and stay invested is a good strategy to consider. But let us take it a step further. What if you had the worst possible time? Even if you had the great misfortune starting to invest in mutual funds at their peak, that is right before the market price, that is when it is at the peak, you would have realized if you had stayed invested for the long term. Time actually helps you. Time gives you the power. That is time in the market is the power. So long term is the key word. This illustrates as riding the ups and downs in the market, how it leads to an emotional roller coaster for an investor. When the market price soars, the investor is confident, he's thrilled, and he's euphoric, and he tends to buy when the market is at its high. Its level is high. But then, when it starts dropping, he becomes nervous, and he's worried, and he sells at the low when he's panic-stricken. So this is something that you need to avoid. Watching your investment value drop indiscriminately in market downturns can cause anxiety and stress. They're natural reactions. In fact, about 30% of retail investors panic during market downturns. And these reactions are driven by what experts call fear biases. Our brains are wired to protect us from danger, and can trigger a fight or flight, and this is where the guidance of a mutual fund distributor becomes invaluable. Because they help you separate emotions from sound investment decisions. Market pullbacks are quite common. In fact, on an average, since 1950s, has experienced 5% pullbacks 3 times a year. So by bailing out early, we could only miss out on the recovery. When you're in doubt, zoom out. Just look at the big picture. It provides a valuable perspective. It can be hard to accept, but the best strategy to follow is do nothing. Next, we come to asset allocation optimization. Tightrope walker balancing across a high wire. Success depends on the careful distribution of weight. Too much on one side and they fall. Asset allocation works. It distributes investments across different asset classes like equity, debt, etc. And it strikes a perfect balance between risk and return. In the financial markets, every asset class has its own cycle. Equities might outperform during economic booms, while commodities might outperform. Diversifying, you ensure that when one part of your portfolio underperforms, the other compensates. And the goal is not just to maximize your returns, but to make your journey smoother. Allocation is your first line of defense and your best offense for spreading the risk. Use the core satellite model approach. Your core portfolio, that is 80% of your portfolio, should be diversified equity funds, flexi-cap funds, multi-cap funds, debt funds, stability, hybrid funds, that is for balance, that is like balance advantage funds, which change dynamically according to market conditions. 8, that is the satellite portion, that layer can contain mid-cap funds, small-cap funds, global equity funds, and thematic or sectoral funds. Sectoral or thematic funds are just tactical plays. They focus on the trends and opportunities in various sectors, and defensive sectors such as FMCG and healthcare do very well during market downturns. But sectors such as banking, capital goods, they underperform market downturns. So you need to closely monitor such stocks. They give high returns but at higher risk. So those who are risk averse need not venture into it, but those can take a level of risk, can opt for this, but the maximum you can invest in such funds is up to 10% of your portfolio. This layered approach will create a portfolio that growth usage. Asset allocation is the primary driver of portfolio returns. Anchor your portfolio to your own goals. That is, by staying the course, it does not mean you need. I said do nothing, but what? On key investment concepts such as asset allocation and diversification. Once you make sure that your investment is aligned to your goals based on these concepts, you can sit back and do nothing. That's what I meant by do nothing. The next is risk profiling and rebalancing. Successful investing is about managing risk, not avoiding it. So said Benjamin Graham, the father of value investing. Everyone wants higher returns, but at what risk? A 25-year-old and a 65-year-old should invest very differently. What works for a 25-year-old employee does not work for a 65-year-old retired. Identify your capacity to and willingness to bear the risk and match your mutual fund investments accordingly. So, understanding risk tolerance is very important. Next is rebalancing, and that is the key to risk control. Rebalancing means reviewing your portfolio every year and restoring your intended allocation. For example, if equities rally and become 90% of your portfolio, but you had planned 80% in equities, then you need to trim and reinvest debt. And asset balancing can be done once a year. That's enough. Abrupt model changes due to temporary factors should be avoided. Next, we come to tenure, discipline, and investor psychology. Is your greatest de-risking tool. Investors who stay invested for 10 years or more rarely lose money. Compounding works best when you stay the course. A 1 lakh investment at 12% per annum becomes 3.1 in 10 years and 3.6 lakhs in 20. The cost of earning is huge, and the real challenge is managing your fear and greed, and not the marks. Time is on your side. Yes, it is. It gives you the ability to overcome short-term setbacks, grow your portfolio alongside the economy's long-term trend, and benefit from the power of compounding, that is the return earned on your past funds. So, investing is all about risk reward. You might take very big risks that result in big rewards as well as big losses. So, playing the long game is the best investing strategy. Mutual fund investing is a long-term Short-term fluctuations are not relevant in the grand scheme of your financial goals. Remind yourself of this during troubled times. To sum up, SMART is a complete mindset, systematic, market cycle aware, allocated, risk aligned, time disciplined. No strategy is foolproof. This one is time tested. Market turbulence is a reality. Smart strategies do not just help you survive, they help you become stronger. And strategy beats smart framework is not about beating the market. It's about not being beaten by the market. So bring structure and resilience to your investment journey. In the course of your investment journey, consider these timeless takeaways. Invest in knowledge before you invest in mutual funds. Your biggest risk investing is not market returns, it's ignorance. Fill the knowledge gap. The more you know, the better your decisions. Focus on fundamentals. Fundamentals are often signals to buy, not exit signs. So, the key is preparation and focusing on the fundamentals and entering at the right time. Keeping a portion of your portfolio in can provide flexibility, allowing you to take advantage of the opportunities that market downturns give you. Liquidity acts as a cushion and they cover your expenses without you needing to sell your investments at a loss during market downturns. Put your mutual fund losses into perspective. Divide losses into realized loss and unrealized loss. If you keep your money in mutual funds, that's unrealized loss. If you redeem it, then it's a realized loss. So, if you do nothing and hold on to your mutual fund investments, you handsomely from the recovery, the rebound days that I refer to. Stay informed. Monitoring the latest financial developments through credible sources and avoiding sensational headlines helps in making informed decisions. The biggest losses do not come from market downturns. They come from human missteps, speculative entries, panic redemptions, and ignoring fundamentals. Ignore predictions. That's very important. Financial experts will have a lot of theories about why the markets fell and how soon it will recover. Tune it out unless you're watching it for entertainment purposes only. There is no evidence to show that anyone has the expertise to accurately predictions about the stock market. The key is to have a prepared, not a predictive strategy. Avoid herd mentality. Trading is not always wise. The investment world is full of hypes. Crypto this week, AI stocks the following week. But wealth is not built on hype, it is built on depth. Do not invest based on the fear of missing out on some trend. Invest based on clarity. It's okay to miss out on a trend if it protects your capital and peace of mind. Solid mutual fund investment strategy. A well thought out mutual fund investment plan based on your financial goals, tolerance, and time horizon, and stick with it during periods of volatility. Ups and downs are part of a life journey. We do not enjoy a roller ride without the dips. But when it comes to markets, the moment we start to panic and make quick decisions out of fear. Why? Is volatility simply not a market rhythm? What do you scream when it says stay steady? But what if we have a seasoned co-pilot offering guidance and letting you emotions from sound investment decisions? That is precisely the role of a mutual fund distributor. When markets turn volatile, mutual fund distributors become more than just a they have a beacon in the storm. And they have expertise in navigating various market cycles. They can help you develop tailored long-term investment strategies that align with your goals, risk tolerance, and investment purpose. They can provide objective perspectives which help you align with your goals. Let us drop the curtains and salient pearls of wisdom. Emotions and markets do not mix. I explained it in that slide. When markets rise, you become overconfident, and that leads to impulsive buying. And when markets fall, that is you tend to panic. Then when markets rise, you tend to buy. And this will keep you away from your consistent long-term strategy. So avoid emotions while investing. Discipline beats preparation. Stay focused on your strategic plan and stick to consistency in approach because that comes first. Structure beats sentiment. Stay focused on your strategic plan and use proven asset allocation models and diversification to your advantage. Do not let fear or greed make the decisions for you. Simplicity beats complexity. Do not chase fancy products. Avoid frequent switching. Don't try to time the market. Stay in it and let compounding work its way. Your financial journey is not a sprint. It is a well-curated map. Stay focused and time work in your favor. After all, the best day to start investing was yesterday, and the second best day is today. Trust the process. Mutual funds, consistent investment strategies, and stay support of your mutual fund distributor. You do not just face the storm. You can take it as a stepping stone. Thank you for the engaged audience. I would like to thank Tamil Nadu.
Thank you for your outstanding presentation. We appreciate the profound insights we have shared regarding smart strategies for mutual fund investing in turbulent times. Your expertise has undoubtedly provided significant value and enriched the financial life of our audience. We extend our sincere gratitude for your invaluable contribution to this event. Thank you. I request Mr. A. Mr. Krishna Jagan, and our President, Mr. Raja, to come to the stage to felicitate our. May I invite Mr. A. Rajan to felicitate Mrs. Lalita with the shawl.
Come back to the mics. Stock market volatility. Life of life.
Mr. President, to felicitate Mrs. Lalita with the garland. Mr. Raja to felicitate Mrs. Lalita with the
Thank you, sir. I request our President, Mr. Raja, to share an exciting update on one of our upcoming events.
So just in this occasion, just I want to release the player for the Innocence which was planned in the end of September. However, can you just release this player in the presence of Mr. Nagarajan and Mr. Krishna Jay? So, I guess the chief of this committee of the single team, examining the Marches is Liga Laji, the ex-project director of Aditya's L1 flight towards the sun, in ISRO. I encourage you to actively participate in this work. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time for our final presentation, the second final session, ensuring valve reliability through precision actuation electron advantage, which will be presented by Mr. Akshay Anand and Mr. Gopinath Krishnaraj, Area Manager of Electron Release. I'd like to introduce our next speakers.
Everyone. It is my privilege to introduce the presenters of Mr. Akshay Anand and Mr. Goviram Krishnaraj, who will be presenting the topic of ensuring valve reliability through the precision actuation, the Kinectrol advantage. Mr. Goviram is a highly experienced sales and application engineering professional in valve automation and process control industry. With over 14 years of industrial experience, he is currently area manager at Kinectrol Middle East, where he is focusing on delivering innovative actuator solutions across the region. Prior to this, he spent 8 years at Rotar in the UAE as an inside sales engineer, supporting key accounts and project specs. His foundation was built at Emerson in Chennai, where he was an application engineer. His career has demonstrated deep technical expertise and a strong commitment to a customer support and solution of pneumatic and electrical actuators. And Mr. Akshay Kumar is a seasoned leader in the valve automation industry with almost 15 years of experience in the Middle East. Currently, serving as General of Canada Middle East, Akshay has been instrumental in driving 3X business growth through strategic sales initiatives, customer channel development, and team building. Previously, he spent over 8 years at Rotar, where he led major contract and sales engineering efforts across the region, worked closely with clients like Aramco, KOC, and Orbi. His expertise technical sales, project execution, and commercial strategy, making him a strong force in scaling operations and customer engagement in the automation sector. Give them the great applause and welcoming on stage.
Good evening all. Much for the kind introduction. As Kirit, very happy to be here. Definitely a unique organization across. I don't think there is another organization like TEF. Of course, you have the ITEF now. But, it's a unique. I feel is that you are able to uniquely blend the community, the deep sense of community with technical pursuits. And I think it is contributing a lot to the overall community. And I really feel proud to be here. Thank you so much once again to the leaders. Today, we want to talk about the advantage which the Kineton brings to valve reliability. And we also want to talk about the recent acquisition and associations that we have done. So let's get started. So who is Kineton? Kineton is a based manufacturing company. It's a 98. So we are one of the most trusted and reliable pneumatic companies which has been serving customers for more than 50 years. Kineton has been supplying actuators and associated accessories to the Middle East for more than 30 years. As a group, our turnover last year has crossed 50 million pounds, and as a people community, we have crossed almost 250. Closely, now we are nearing 300. We are very proud to say that our product is 100% manufactured in the UK. We do not outsource any of the components, and even the small components which goes into building is assembled and tested in-house. We are present in 28 countries globally, and we are there in almost all the major process industries. So these are the main industries of Kineton. So we are in nearly 10 countries. We have 100% owned subsidiaries of Kineton, and UAE is one among them. We are having the office in Abu Dhabi, and globally we have partnerships in all key locations. So how does our global strategy work? So basically, we don't see ourselves as a manufacturer or as a commodity provider. So we see ourselves as an engineering solution provider. So we design, manufacture quarter pneumatic actuators, spring fail-safe units, and control units. So our subsidiaries, how they normally work is we put strategic stock for key customers. In addition to that, we also offer value facility. And typically, our distributors also hold strategic stock coordination with the local subsidiaries, and they offer complementary products as well. So they're not restricted to the Kineton products. So they also even combine with other complementary products. So we just want to cover quickly what is a problem faced generally in high cycling applications, such as the PDS. So in PDS applications, if you see, the valves are typically designed to meet the operating conditions and perform continuously. The actuator makes up a very crucial component of the assembly, and it has to be durable so that the operating time and duty cycles required can be met. What is the actuator failure or the performance of the valve? So it leads to maintenance issues, replacement, and unscheduled windows for upgrades or reworking. So a reliable actuator can meet the demands of an application like this, and it also ensures that the plant uptime is an optimal way. So what is the vane type actuator? You have heard of Scotch yoke actuator, rack and pinion actuator. So we can probably say that we are the third kind of actuator, which is a vane type, where we have a single moving part, as you can see here, which is the vane. It is a flexible direct actuator, where you are getting the direct quarter turn motion instead of having a linear to quarter turn conversion. It is a compact and economical and a fast actuator, and we are giving guarantee for our smaller sizes up to 2 cycles and our bigger sizes up to 1 million cycles. There is zero flash, accurate modulation, and even though it is a simple design, it's not an easy design to create, which you can see from the number of models. We have 17 models working up to 40,000 Newton meter of direct water torque. What are the key characteristics of the electron type actuator? It is integral vane shaft casting is a single wing part, as we have seen in the previous slide. It is corrosion resistant and it is having an aluminium alloy case. We are having the double opposed lip seal, and it is having the easy stop arrangement, which reduces the impact on the casing. We are also giving the space filling and energy absorbing side, which ensures that the air consumption needed to operate the vane is kept at a minimal level. Coming to our spring design. So we manufacture what is called the clock type spring. You can see the illustration here. So the clock type spring has several parts which ensures stability that we are committing. It has very low torque loss, low stretch, and the sealed housing avoids any kind of ingress in corrosion. The built-in design offers high spring mechanism, and we are also proud to say that we are probably one of the few manufacturers who gives a lifetime warranty for our spring. With the spring return, we are having 16 models up to 14.5 Newton meter of 14.5 K Newton meter of torque. Now recently we are close to 20,000 Newton meter at 7 bars. We are also offering the low pressure spring models for applications as needed. Coming to the core topic, why do we need to care about the reliability, the cost? So the cost of commissioning, cost of operation, cost of maintenance, cost of shutdown, all over it contributes to the total cost of ownership. And this is which every plant is looking into, and we are proud to say that we are helping them manage this as well. What is the total cost? It is an estimate of all direct costs associated with the asset over an entire life cycle. More often than not, the purchasing decisions are based solely on an item's purchase cost. However, this is completely ignoring the normal cost and the benefits which a quality product can bring to the plant. It's easy to the lowest purchase point, but what is good for the business is to manage the cost of ownership. What are the factors which influence the total cost of ownership? The purchase price is only the tip of the iceberg, and when considering the total cost of ownership, it's just a starting point. There are several key factors influencing the total cost of ownership, such as the procurement process, spares and inventory, maintenance downtime, and environmental sustainability, and furthermore. I will quickly touch on some of the key factors which determines the total cost of ownership. The procurement process. So the process of procurement is often overlooked. Depending on complexity of order, the issues vary from do we need approval, do we need to submit a lot of paperwork, how many times has this been, what is the size of the product, what is the shape, what is the shipping time. Yes, these are all key factors, but are they also the contributing factors? Based on our guarantee, we can probably probably say that based on our guarantee, we can probably say that the 1 million cycle which we are guaranteeing is 4x more than our competitors, which means it doesn't need to be reordered 4 times. Coming to the spares and inventory, the cost of stocking necessary spares is often not considered when determining the commercial. What stock level is necessary? How many sizes and parts have to be stocked? Where and how to keep the stock? So the cost of holding inventory is typically inventory value per year and is subject to depreciation. Durability of Kinetrol range means less frequent failures compared to the other designs and allowing fewer replacements of the parts in the safety stock. Maintenance. Rather than just the cost, there are further costs to be considered. Additional costs from to failed units, replacement process may require cost consequence of failure and shutdown. Depending on the produced cost and factory operational cost, the replacement of failed units can cost anywhere from 10,000. So Kinetrol's high life cycle reliability means that there are less chances of unplanned maintenance costs. Downtime. The biggest expense to an operation is unscheduled downtime. Runaway costs can accumulate quite easily and quickly, and there are a lot of factors which follows that. How quickly can it be resolved? What are the time costs? Do we have spare parts? Do we need to? So a study by OneServe in partnership with the British manufacturing calculated that the cost for UK manufacturing cost UK manufacturers $8 million a year. Environmental sustainability. Running cost of an actuator is often overlooked for pneumatic actuators. The fuel cost per unit of compressed air. So if the actuator is large with a high cycling requirement, in a process with multiple units, the energy will be significant. Therefore, requiring a large compressed unit. This ultimately leads to high energy costs. Low life cycle and repeated often means more actuators are disposed without considering the environment. So what is comparison and what are unique points when we talk about other design actuators? You should care on site to manage wide continuous reliable operation, overall efficiency of the production process, lowering operation. A study which we have done has given a result that over a 4-year period, the Kinetrol model compared to a typical Scotch oak can save you 4 times the cost. So what do we offer as a company? We want to offer the most reliable actuator in the market. We want to offer an actuator which is having 1 million cycles between overhaul. Typically, 3 to 5 year intervals at 200,000 cycles per year calls for replacement. 4 million cycles was 20 years old. Fully sealed spring packs with the highest built-in safety. Designed for applications requiring high cycle and high speed. Simple design, simple service. PDS is one of the biggest consumers of our product globally. We can see why, because the number of cycles in PDS applications is compared to other process industries is significantly high. So why is our actuator the most recommended in the PDS applications? As you can see, with the polyethylene license providers such as WR Grace, INEOS, and many other of the high speed and high cycle process applications, we have supplied for more than 30 years to proven on site in more than 70 plants worldwide. Kinetrol is an exceptionally fast acting and high cycling actuator, and is leading the way for to be used by process owners and end users worldwide. We just want to quickly show our install currently globally, and we are adding to this every year. What are some of the other products that we can provide from our Kinetrol portfolio? So we also have pneumatic and retro-pneumatic positioners, switch boxes for both safe area and explosion-proof area. We have, we've seen actuators in these units. We also have ITV controllers and gearboxes. In addition to this, we also do other products such as damper drives, dashboards for process industries. So we have recently launched our new product, which is the again, which is going to help with a lot of maintenance issues, which normally comes with an actuator very fast for a very high scale. So this design has been developed specially to deliver super fast operating times, and we are talking about 1 second, 2 seconds, sometimes 300 milliseconds required. It is directly mounted onto the actuator and can deliver series from 30 to 180. Resting reliability has been done for more than 1 million cycles. It's a very compact design, removes the need for mounted boosters and ancillaries. Double acting and single acting, and it is pilot operated by a single 5 number solenoid valve with ATEX options. So coming to the summary of as we have seen. So we can offer high-speed operations of less than 0.8 seconds. Durability of up to even 15 million cycles has been recorded in some of the applications globally. It is a single ring design with a one moving part, and that ensures that you have only one point of failure, whereas in other designs you have multiple points of failure. We have comparing with other products and the points that we have seen earlier, there is going to be less shutdowns and less interruptions, extending the other one. Thank you so much. And I want to now pass the mic to my colleague, Mr. Gobira, and he will talk about our actuator range and our new associations.
Thank you, Akshay. Good evening. I'm going to tag. Before taking my management, I would like to and this is my actually first stage performance. So if just please ignore, okay. Don't worry. So I will thank my manager for giving me the opportunity to present our Kinetrol electric actuator range in this forum. To our Kinetrol pneumatic range, our company has decided to penetrate in the electrical market. So the approach two different approaches here. One through acquisition and with the company called Aris, the German-based company, and second approach is association with the company called OnTrack for heavy duty application actuator. So basically, Aris actuator is a German-based actuator, delivers very good quality of actuators. Actually, the European side, they are mainly focusing on industries like a dosing application, cement plant application, and manufacturing rotary and linear actuators suitable for smaller series applications. These are our the company has completely 650 years old company. These are completely complete range of actuators. Nano, Pico, and Extents are rotary actuators, and this for linear actuators. So when nano actuator, basically synchronous actuator, and it is available in AC, DC, power supply, and it could start up to 5 meter with large gearboxes, and it has a IP65 rating. It is only the non-of application purpose, and this mainly uses in ball valve, butterfly valve, and quadrant valves, and since it is a multi-ton actuator, it can be used on the dosing application as well. Tensor model, the difference from the Nano, this is brushless motor, and the rest of the features as like Nano, it delivers up to 500 Newton meter, and uh, minimum of IP rating 66, it scaled up to 67. It can be used for ball valve, for all quadrant walls. It can be used also for dose application. We have a handle for handle of, so extends basically the rating actuator. It is a zone 1 rating. Also, it delivers 5 meter maximum, and the material of construction is aluminum material, and it is powered with the AC and DC motor, and the certification is it has a 2C rating, and it's mainly used for zone 1 and zone 2 applications. So normal Tensor and Nano actuators are safe actuator, and Extents are for explosive rating actuators. So this is the new design after acquisition. Since the Harris actuator is mainly focusing on the on-off application, just on-off application, we do have a unit with a capacity, but see mainly the end users are like actuator with the fairly safe unit with the spring return. So this actuator combined with the spring unit to bring the new solution from our Kinect to enter into the market, especially the HVAC application. So after this we found out the model for a 50 meter suitable for the HVAC application. Now the next level of stock 30 Newton, 50 Newton meter, and 100 meter is on the development. So once it's successful, we will be able to compete with the seaside actuator for HVAC application and other application as well for the honey and Belimo. So right now, attest certification. Now we are applying the FM and the world is on the way. So once it's done, we will be able to give the the Siemens actuator as well. And Pico, the Pico actuator is compact and small in size, delivers only Newton meter. Mainly, we are selling into the since with our experience in this market, we have informed our management. We need to extend our torque level in this model. So we can expect the same model which will deliver up to 50 Newton meter. So we can compete with the Belimo actuator with this model. Also, next level of improvement will be to take a approval for this model. So basic application, this actuator for a ventilation application, especially for a HVAC application, and we can even not only to sell for only HVAC, we can sell it to small range of water application and other safety application also recently started. So linear, so this is not combination of your rotary actuator with linear, give the linear movement. So as like other rotary actuator delivers, since it's a linear, 500 Newton in force, the certificate is rated for ATA certification. It can be for app application and painting application. And the last model in our Aris is a Ventaris. Is used in the rotary application, control wall, and shut off of the safety wall. Fixing application as well used, since it's a linear and very fine precision actuator control. Now we so far with this actuator are mainly for modulating and on-off application. We have our development, next development would be adding the all protocol like Modbus, hard communication in our range, so that we can give the most actuator in the industry. And second point, association with this company, where is basically designed and developed by few years back. Then later, ABB expert, ex-ABB person has taken over this company, and now this company has been imported in US. Then design everything, design and quality are equal to German standard, the European standard. So why we are these are the main client to the on-track actuator. We have sold many units to GCC in aluminum plants. Recently, in the last 1 year, we have applied 5 units in Katala, a trial unit in the furnace area, which was replaced Bifi. It was successfully, the trial unit was successful in 1 year. They found no issues in the last 1 year, so they are very much happy. And with our success is the actuator is very robust, and without insulation, actuator is 70 degrees Celsius from the. So they are using the fireproofing as a solution to reduce the temperature, but our actuator they are not using additional protection other than our actuator cover. This is one of the success in Middle East. Other than that, before they are focusing in Americas and China, which they were selling but in Middle East they were not approved. As after our part in Kindertron, we are exploring approved for Middle East Qatar Energy, Kuwait, KPC, and these are currently there, and recently they have replaced 65 units in South Africa. These are the basic models are on track, multi-track and IC. Both models are available on modulating application. So easy track is basically for a smaller application, also mostly used in the pattern application like ball valve, butterfly valve, and plug valve. This multi-number is used for gate and glow and rising. It delivers a very good amount of power if other in the field. These are the advantages and key feature of the. It can be saturated is minimum. It can be connected with via Modbus, hard protocol, and coffee bus. So other actuators very the MOC is the actuator is aluminium, but the resistance free actuator on standard color is black. We can give the variant coating as well. It can extend up to minus 60 degree or 60 degree also. Extend up to minus plus 80 degree with white on seals, and C5 coating also available for offshore and marine application. And another thing like remote mode is available for marine application and for high temperature applications. Because very few manufacturers have this in the range. In on-track also we are having this kind of features. It's our top range in our numbers. EC torque is delivers torque of 1000 meter. Now the development will be up to 2000 meter for covering the bigger size for the. Once the torque increases, we can't smaller range cannot be the EC torque. We have to go for torque with the gearbox option, which causing the which increase the cost of the material. So company has decided to increase the scale of the model to 2000 Newton meter for a quarter application. And the actuator is it can be work all the actuator may would each model for a different supply. But our actuator, one single unit can be used for either AC or DC application, DC support supply. That is our torque of the torque 1,45,000 Newton meter with our gearboxes and direct from multi-truck and thrust 185 Newton. So these are the family of our actuator with a different combination, and we can this slide gives better how we can use our actuators. And our actuator can be filled directly. When the wall sizes are increasing, we have to give the solution with the gearboxes suitable for the wall. And damper solution also we can give. In UAE, there is one cement company called Lafarge Cement, where they are finding the difficulty with the existing actuator in the plant. So we went for a site survey and we have given the different actuator that application which done right now for 3 months. We will be observing another one year. So they will decide they will replace all the actuator in that scheme. We will be adding our installed base our Middle East, so enter into the market. And before association with this company, our Kinatra has taken testing testing on-track actuator with our actuator, because as Akshay told, Kinatra actuator is known for their quality and reliability because of guarantee for 1 million cycle of operation entire actually more than that, we guarantee nobody has given. So, actually tested 10,000 cycle cycle. So they did the performance. During the entire process, the torque output of the actuator did not fall and performance it was very during the time. So they have certified that we should collaborate with this company because the quality that reliability is meeting our Kinetrol requirement. Kinetrol so that's why they have taken the contract and with this company and the field and market strategy, everything is in line with our Kinetrol strategies. So these are the variant in the easy truck. So the same right done with the same performance quality and it is Kinetrol Middle East. Kinetrol UK was established 65 years before, quite old company in this actuation field. But the Kinetrol Middle East was established in last 5 years. So right now we are totally 6 people, very small team, but young team with the experience in this oil and gas and other process industries in Middle East. All we will be giving the application support to the end user. Also, we are in our facility to package our actuator accessories as a complete package to the end user because when we go for our assistant site end users are sometimes with wall, sometimes with the actuator. So what we decided is with we have very good tie-up with our few companies like diaphragm walls in that relationship we can do the integration with the actuator on the so we can give the selling to the end users as a single source and we do our application support in Middle East from our end and can do our packaging with our actuator, other accessories, other main accessories. So, get a certification. We are expecting to we need to scale up to next level with available market. So, so we are expecting very good progress in next few years. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Akshay and Mr. Gopinath, for your wonderful presentation. Now it's time for question and answers. Shito, Mr. Akshay. In the fast acting actuator, the latest addition to your case, you are mentioning that the time is less than 0.8 second. The time inclusive of you are mentioning that the operation
mentioned time. Time is like less than 0.8 seconds. That 0.8 seconds is inclusive of what? The command in to command out or limit switch into reaching there. What sort of?
No, basically once the signal has been given, so that is the operating taken to either open or close.
The limit switch feedback.
It's operating, so the feedback is not calculated, only the movement of the, see, it will be instantaneous. But obviously there are feedbacks. But what we are more on
What about the size of the bar?
no, sir, not any size. So typically in these kind of applications, up to 12-inch ball valve 300 class is what we have seen. Above that also, we have given double acting actuator, we can give even up to like 24-inch. Thank you, sir.
Hello. There are some cases actually, actuators, not actuators, so the process of equipment, maybe changing from being open to being closed. So in this condition, says your actuator need to be replaced.
So as you have seen, we are having the okay, and our design is very modular. So we don't have a single, so we have the actuator in the spring which are separate parts. So in cases where you need the fail action to be reversed or changed, it's just a matter of removing the spring and recalibrating it. The direction should be recalibrated. So we can do that. Actually, we have actually launched what we call as the reversible spring, where by reversing the spring itself, the direction you can achieve, the fail close or the fail over the opposite direction. So that is the feature which you don't see in other companies, which we have.
These are the top programs actually.
Okay.
Also, this one of the main, this one immediately with the actuator for me. If you want to know which size, it is recommended.
On the size, the valve size,
Yeah, all actuator.
we only suggest based on the valve size, we only suggest based on the operating environment, how many cycles it has done, and what is the, because sometimes the output may be fluid environment, so we don't know. So the size normally doesn't matter when we suggest recommendations for upgrading or changing the actuator. We only see what kind of environment, what kind of application actuator or valve has been utilized, and then we give our recommendation.
Any other question? Thank you.
Yes, sir. I agree, but that is why we feel like sometimes it's slow because we feel that it's very complicated or to do that exercise, which is the reason why we are also recommending that it needs to be done. Because for like actually we met an end user who in fact told us that they have a TC in place. He showed a similar presentation to them. They have actually challenged us by saying that, okay, can you give your information? And we will collect the information from the competitor which we have, and we want to do a proper analysis. So, even though it may be, there are people who are doing it, there are people who are giving importance to it, and we feel more happy when we interact with them because it is helping us, in fact, when people are doing it. And when people are not doing it, we are trying to educate them and inform them the importance of doing it.
As an outsider, for you, because you are an outsider of the data.
Yes.
Purchasing deals with this purchase order,
Yes.
whereas you have a waiting machine department. So
the takes the expedition and the determined effort,
Yes.
it's not going to happen. So most actually, so thinking to department is, I want actually the vice because I want to go. I want the result of total cost of ownership is very good, but it's very difficult to
So I think that is where companies like Google, where they are implementing AI strategies to help end users to, instead of doing it manually, I hope that this AI can be implemented in these kind of applications as well, where then it makes it easier for people to monitor the efficiency, monitor the cost, and take a data. Which is the point which you raised about the data. Data-driven decisions will definitely give more confidence rather than thinking, okay, let's do this maybe 2 years or like 3 years ago, like, okay, do we really need to do it? With data, definitely it will be a bigger platform for people to manage it. So, okay, dependent in the way that they are doing it for the AI.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Raksha, for the exceptional presentation on ensuring through precision actuation, the Kinectrol advantage. Your insights have been incredibly valuable. We truly appreciate the detailed explanation of how Kinectrol's high precision actuation technology contributes to enhanced wall performance, optimal control, and overall operational reliability. Your expertise has provided our colleagues with knowledge to improve safety and efficiency in industrial applications. Thank you both once again for sharing your time and knowledge with us.
Visiting our distinguished guest speakers. First, we see Mr. Akshay. For that, I'm requesting Mr. Arun Goldman, President, Mr. Dennis Mohan, and Mr. Ashok Kumar Ravi for me as General Secretary to come out on the stage, please. Mr. Arun Goldman will be presenting Mr. Akshay with the mic. I invite Mr. Dennis to felicitate Mr. Akshay with the garland. Now, Mr. Kumar, to felicitate Mr. Akshay with the memento. To felicitate Mr. Kumar, I invite Mr. Kapil Devasamy, Joint Secretary, IT, Mr. Middleton, and Mr. Jim Krishna to come out on the stage, please. I invite Mr. to felicitate Mr. Govind to the Bonadai. Now I invite Mr. Middleton to felicitate Govind with the garland. So now you felicitate Mr. Govind with the memento. Thank you, Judge. This opportunity to again thank all our sponsors. This continuous support propels the successful journey. We thank our event sponsor, Golden Palm Petroleum Services, and Kinectrol. We thank our presenting sponsor, KMMC, and we thank our platinum sponsors, SACO, Revenue, Al-Laura, Kuf, Oil Engineering. We thank our board sponsors, AGTC, PSC, ACME, Mahaka Trading, Almola Exchange, Eagle Bergman, and Bergen Bank. We thank our sponsors, EDAC, GTC, Gulfswick, Oltec, and Sarandaraman. We also thank Shifan Jadira. Let me now invite Mr. Arun. Before that, I just have an announcement to make. We will be soon serving dinner. I request the first person on the left to go to the dinner first. Once the
Good evening. It's my honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the organizing committee for today's exam. First and foremost, I would like to our distinguished guests who have graciously shared their time, insights, and expertise with us today. Mr. Michael, CEO of Senseven, JVH, began our session with on acoustic emission and A can reduce seed leakage in valves. Ms. Lalita Ramapandi, Managing Director of Panagaram Fintech, an extremely relevant and well-articulated session on smart strategies for mutual fund investment in performance. Mr. Akshay Anand and Mr. Gobiram from this wrapped up with the seminar technical deep dive into ensuring reliability through precision actuation, the critical advantage. We are also immensely grateful to our sponsor who made this event possible. A heartfelt thanks to all organizing committee members, volunteers, and technical team who worked tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure the execution of today's event. Last but not by no means least, thank all engineers, industry professionals, and enthusiasts. Your participation, thoughtful questions, and keen interest made this seminar to success. As we carry forward the insights gained today into our professional work, continue striving for innovation and excellence. It's time for some delicious dinner now. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Subramani. Dear members, we have now come to the end of today's evening. Time to bring some delicious dinner now. Good night and see you soon in another 2025 event. Thank you.
theatrical style, 1, 2, 3, 3